This video contains subject matter that may be offensive and disturbing to some people. If you are the type to require a warning throughout a video or show, let this message serve as your warning. This channel discusses the harsh reality of true crime. If this warning is not sufficient for you, consider a different genre and unsubscribe from my channel immediately. Oh, gotta fix the... Hold on a second. My streamer wasn't working, so I had to start it over again. There you go. That's the beauty of the newer streaming deal. If it breaks down, you can actually join back in again after fixing it. The audio wasn't working for some reason. Who the hell knows why? Yeah, I've been using it for a while. Kim F. Sharp. Must have missed it. Yep, those damn gremlins. Oh, I don't know. We'll have to see about that. Wouldn't it be weird if he had like connections to Harvey Weinstein? Not Harvey Weinstein. The other guy. Who was the other? The guy that had the whole ring set up, had a madam and everything, and then he just killed himself in jail. Or, yeah, Epstein. There you go. Yeah, wouldn't that be weird if there was some connections to Epstein on there? Yeah, that'd be wild, wouldn't it? Yeah. Here, let me make this bigger. Can you guys see that red bounding box on the screen? Does that show up to you guys? Like the red bounding box around the chat. Oh, you can? Okay. Huh. That's weird. Wonder why it lets you see all that. Well, Jen said yes, so the rest of you apparently you can't. Okay, good.
WNTB on long bad back pain. Coupler to the pot.
Well, sorry your back hurts. Well, how could one of you see it and the rest not? That's impossible. You couldn't have seen it. If other people can't see it, then it can't be seen. Okay, right now, if I click on this, right now, can you see a red, huge red, thick box? Hold on. I'll just show you what it looks like on a different window. Around the chat, it looks like this over here. Watch. See this right here? That red box that's around the chat? You couldn't see that, right? Okay. All right. Excellent. Yeah, but apparently, you know, the media's out there claiming there's Russian disinformation with this laptop. However, the head of the intelligence agency said there isn't. There is none. So it'd be interesting to see what's on there. What kind of funds were funneled over to good old Dad. The hard worker from Scranton. Just in the ditches with everybody. Yeah, shut that. Okay. Yeah, they always use Russia as the scapegoat for everything that they do. It's either the Russians against them or the Russians for Trump. It's never like something on their side, That's one of the things I don't get. It's like, just don't be hypocrites. I've said that 1,000 times. Hey, thanks, Lisa Wilkerson. Yeah, these are colder than... These are really... 2 of them are about as cold as a case could ever be. I just found them again on the Florida cold case page. Yeah, they're all from the 80s. No, we can all be friends. It's the politicians and the...
Gray, I'm so glad you are covering these cold cases.
Yeah, the hardcore lefties, they feel so morally superior than anybody else who thinks differently than them that it's almost like a badge of honor for them to unfriend you. So they can say, oh, I had to unfriend some people today. I don't know anybody on the other side that does that. Okay? Well, that's because they're not morally superior. I hate it. It's unbelievable. If you don't believe exactly what they believe, you are an outcast in society. The deplorables, as it were. Okay. Maybe I'll do the smaller ones first. Alright, the first one I'm going to do is Belinda Mazel Snowden. Alright? And I'm not saying everybody does that, but there's the hardcore ones that just think they're so enlightened and that they're so above anybody else, And I think that's an actual disease called Trump derangement syndrome, where it actually affects your entire ability to think rationally ever again, at least politically. And I don't care if you don't like him, but that syndrome is a real thing. It's weird. Okay, so the first one is Belinda Snowden. And this is back in 1986. Hardly any information. I don't know if this one's related, though. See, there was this article here that had a Snowden, same general area, but I won't even discuss that one at this point. So I couldn't make a connection, but it seemed like it was. So there's just hardly anything on this one. A 15-year-old girl whose body was found south of, I don't know if it's Wassissa, Wacissa, on Saturday, apparently was strangled to death. Jefferson County Sheriff officials reported Sunday. The victim was identified as Belinda Mazel Snowden. I have a picture of her right here. Right there. Maybe if she had blonde hair, they would have covered it more. The victim was identified as Belinda Mazel Snowden, 15, of Route 4 of Marianna, Jefferson County. Sheriff Ken Fortune said Sunday night. The Jackson County youth was last seen alive around midnight Friday. Thank you, Linda Howell, as in Linda Molden Howe of the Cattle Mutilations and Crop Circle fame. And that's why she has a cow and an alien. Oh, you can't hang out?
Love you, Bray and Freak family. We'll catch the replay, cow alien.
All right. Well, thank you very much. We'll see you later. Are you going to take a ride on the alien spacecraft that just left the crop circles and mutilated the cows? Oh, okay. The Jackson County youth was last seen alive around midnight Friday in Wakulla County. Let me get this in there. And this is Snowden. Alright. What were these other two that were right here? See, remember that? We have these other cases set back then. At the visiting relatives. So she was in Wakulla County at the time visiting relatives. When she was last spotted near the relative's home, Snowden was at a junior food store close to the crossroads of Highway 61 and Highway 363. Highway 61 and Highway 363. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Last seen here. And I bet you one of these is a store. Junior food store. I wonder if that used to be one right back in there. It's a pharmacy. This is 1986. CVC Pharmacy. That might have been a grocery store back then, or maybe right there even. So that's where she was last seen. Around 6 a.m. Saturday, Fortune said the victim's relative called the Wakulla County Sheriff Department to report the teenager as missing. So she was seen alive around about midnight on Friday, the day before. And when she was last spotted near the relative's home, Snowden was at a junior food store close to the crossroads of Highway 61 and Highway 363. Around 6 a.m. Saturday, Fortune said the victim's relatives called the Wakulla County Sheriff Department to report the teenager as missing. Then about 1:30 p.m. Saturday, two fishermen found her nude body in a wooded area about 10 miles south of Wassissa that includes several ponds. So let's see where Wassissa is. Okay, and then it said 10 miles south, so we could just kind of... I wonder if it's... I would guess it would be off of a highway, though. Let's see. It's 2.85. 6.52. 11. That's around 10. They said there was a bunch of ponds. Yeah, we'll just put a pin sort of down in this area somewhere. Those directions are always so not specific. Okay. Around 6 a.m. Saturday, Fortune said a victim's relatives called the Wakulla County Sheriff's Department to report the teenager was missing. Then about 1:30 p.m. Saturday, that same day, 2 fishermen found her nude body in a wooded area about 10 miles south of Wassissa. That includes several ponds. He added that an initial examination indicated the victim may have been strangled by something other than a person's hands, but it wasn't clear what the possible weapon may have been. Yeah. Of course, it's sexual assault. Yeah. And see, these are the types of killings that are serial killer killings, right? I mean, her nude body is way out there. Whoever did that, whoever has the ability to do that's going to be doing it again. Almost, you know, like, I don't know what the actual percentage is. It is also unclear if the slaying took place where the body was found or occurred elsewhere. The investigation is not only being handled by Fortune's office, but also by Wakulla County Sheriff's Department. We've talked to a lot of people, and we've been getting all our ducks in a row, he said. But as for a prime suspect, we have none. Yeah, well, I mean, hopefully you guys did a rape kit, okay? Yeah, because you found her body literally, I bet you, the same day she was killed. So, you know, it's not like, so let's see, where she was found. 2 fishermen found her nude body in a wooded area about 10 miles south. And they were fishing. I kind of wonder if it's more... Yeah. I mean, south could be anything, to be honest with you. Just a few ponds right there. That's way less than that. But you'd think the person would have driven her down a freeway or a highway of some sort. Let's see if there's another one. I didn't see it. So we'll just have to go with the general area there. All right, and here's the next article. Investigators continued searching Monday for clues to the strangulation death of a 15-year-old Mariana girl whose body was discovered Saturday in South Jefferson County. Let's see where Jefferson County is. It's South Jefferson County. So this is Jefferson. Yeah, this whole area is. So south would be down in, I guess we're in southern Jefferson, because it looks like it actually goes all the way up here, I think. Yeah, it's hard to tell. It could be right there actually. So that would be almost, yeah. So if it was right here, I guess this is south regardless. Hopefully we'll get a break soon, said Jefferson Sheriff Ken Fortune, whose office is investigating the homicide along with Wakulla County authorities and the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. The victim, Belinda Mazel Snowden, a Mariana student who had been visiting relatives in the Wakulla County area for about a week, was reported missing by a relative early Saturday morning. So she probably just went to the store at night to, get something while she was still staying with the relatives. 2 fishermen found her nude body off of a dirt trail Saturday afternoon, about 10 miles south of Wasissa, near some small fishing holes east of State Road 59. Okay, now we've got that. Okay, look at that. That's almost exactly what I did. This is 59. Some small fishing holes east of it even. And so that is what I think that is what I was predicting, is that they went down 59. I have it at 10 miles, and they're saying small fishing holes. Like that. That could even be considered a small fishing hole. Believe it or not, there's actually fish in those damn things. When I was a kid in Corvallis, when I was going to college, one time I was driving around on my scooter, and I found this it was like a little mud puddle. I mean, I would say it was 15 feet by 8 feet, and there's a little tiny bit of water running into it. And I was out fishing anyway, so I thought, oh, what the hell? So I threw a little tiny bobber with a little piece of worm on there, and boom, I caught a decent sized bluegill. Then I ended up catching like 10 fish in this little thing that looked like it was just a mud puddle. You wouldn't even have thought of fishing in it. Okay, so right here it says, an autopsy showed the girl had been strangled with some kind of rope, possibly a cloth belt, found near the body, he said. So they have a treasure trove here. The girl apparently was killed elsewhere and dumped at the scene. So I wonder why why would the strangulation rope be there then, I guess. I guess he could have just left it tight around her neck, and then when he dumped her, it was there too. The girl apparently was killed elsewhere and dumped at the scene, and Fortune adding that the tire tracks found in the wooded area were being investigated. Pending test results will show if the girl had been sexually assaulted, he said. The Jackson County youth was last seen alive around midnight Friday near a junior food store at the intersection of Highway 363 and 267, which is close to the relative's home, in a part of the Wakulla known as Wakulla Station. The investigation included, hey, thanks, Barbara Smith. Yes, we are still raising funds for the end of the month. Hey, Barbara Smith, the channel that Lookner used to work for Right Side Broadcasting today.
I love the freaks still off grid.
They did they do live streaming of Trump events. I mean, it's like a freaking slot machine on there. I wouldn't be surprised if they made $10,000 minimum tonight. They had 150,000 people watching that live stream. Can you believe that? 150,000 people watching a live stream on YouTube. They beat Fox News, had 80,000, and CBS had 600 people. So that's so cool. That's why it's so important, like a lot of what we're doing is organic stuff. There's some new channels out there that are totally produced. They have earbuds in and everything, and they're kind of taking up the YouTube space. Not to say that they're shitty shows. It just sort of doesn't feel natural, So that's what's kind of cool about, getting support on this channel, is we're just doing it naturally. Yeah. There's a couple of new true crime ones that are kind of similar to that, though. Earbuds in. They don't even run what's going on the screen. Somebody else does. They get guests that are, absolutely almost unobtainable by regular people. So they got connections through some sort of a different. Hey, listen. If I get to the point where I have my show and I tell you, hey, thanks, Kit Kat, and I say, oh, hold on, I was told not to use that word in my earpiece, then I've gone a little too far.
Taco Tuesday at Gray's Taco.
That's right. Is today Taco Tuesday? All right, thank you. It's not coffee day, it's taco day. Thank you. Crystal Ann, hey, you guys, and by the way, I put the links to the 2 podcasts that I'm working on in the description. And I was actually thinking that I think it'd be cool to find a few people that are really interested in sort of deep diving something and then do an actual podcast through my channel. A literal, like an actual, I just don't know anything about like the business part of podcasting whatsoever. I don't have a clue. Like I wouldn't know how to, they always say, oh yeah, well you got to load it up and then you set it up where you do. I don't have any idea how to do any of that stuff. And I don't even know if I'd have time to do that. But it'd be pretty cool to, there's some, definitely, I don't know, like sometimes there's a serial podcast where you do the same story over multiple shows. And then there's ones where you do, each episode is completely different. I kind of like the serial ones a little bit better, but.
Kit Kat Wave 1 2 hearts.
Nah, they didn't catch any in this. I looked this one up. Are you saying they just caught the guy in this one? Let me see.
Bail denied.
I actually looked it up. Wow. Bail denied? Doesn't that sort of mean that you're sending me in there? Just a second. Yeah, show up in a search. Okay, well, just don't type, random stuff in there like that. Okay, because you just threw me off and wasted some of my time. Hey, thanks, Lil Andy. Okay, just talk about the case we're talking about. All right, thanks. Okay, so the investigation included interviews with people who saw Snowden in that area late Friday night and early Saturday morning, he said. Why she left the
Taco's smiling face, throwing kisses, hugging face.
Oh, that's right. I put it back. I made it so it makes audio this time. Thank you. Okay, why she left the relative's home was unknown, he said. The relative said the girl was home when they left to deliver newspapers, and when they returned, she was gone. Huh. Night and early Saturday morning. Why she left the relative's home was unknown, he said. The relative said the girl was home when they left to deliver newspapers. Well, she probably was like, she just wanted to go to the store and get something, right? Hey, it's William Zambrano's here. Thanks, Kit Kat. 2 tacos, huh? So basically, Lee D said bail denied. So I guess what that means is that when I do go to jail, I'm already down $5. It's amazing. It's like I wouldn't even be able to. Like a donation of $5 would just get me to where I wish. Oh man. Yep. Okay.
2 for 2 tacos, taco.
Thanks, Kit Kat. Okay, so the girl's uncle, Roy Rigsby of Woodville, said he would limit his comments because of the investigation orders. Said the victim was bashful and a real nice little kid. It's weird. So she was shy, yet she still left the house at really late at night to go to a store. That sounds like she's more confident. Thanks, Chrissy.
Make it 4 tacos.
Okay, and then there was this one on like an official site. On July 26, 1986, the body of 15-year-old Belinda Snowden was discovered in a rural area of Highway 59 near Wassissa in Jefferson County. She was last seen alive between 1 and 2 a.m. I mean, that's really late to be heading out of the house. That day in Wakulla County, a witness reported seeing her near what at the time was Junior Food Store at the intersection of Woodville Highway and Highway 267. She was wearing a pink shirt and jeans when she disappeared. Miss Snowden was from Jackson County, but had been staying in Wakulla County with relatives who lived near the store. Although the case is more than 2 decades old, it is still under active investigation. So if anybody has any information out there, call, Investigator Crystal Goddard at 850-410-7569. You can also remain anonymous and call Crime Stoppers at 850-574-TIPS or 8477. Thanks, Ozo. So, wow, I mean, that's about as... Well, let's see, there is a Facebook post here. Page. And I messaged... Here, hold on, let me check something. Now, I was thinking maybe... Because right over here, so the Facebook post, let's just read this. Seeing her near... I mean, it's basically the same stuff. But right here it says, this is my aunt. She passed away before I got to meet her. So I sent her a message and just to see if she had any extra information.
Taco conga line, taco.
Taco Tuesday. Thanks, Tracy.
1 crunchy, 1 soft taco, smile, thumbs up, medium light skin tone.
What did she say? More like somewhere 30, 32 years. She always sat behind me. I'm going to read some of these. This is pretty interesting. Get a little bit more context here. I'm not sure. I don't have the...
Add a beer.
Well, thanks, you guys. Coors Light, right? Kim F. Sharp. Yeah, we used to drink a lot of Coors Light before parties when I was in college. Fill up a glass mug and then play No Sleep Till Brooklyn by the Beastie Boys. And then wait, as soon as they start singing, so you wait for the beat and then go, oh yeah, that was good stuff. Sometimes it was Old English 800.
Taco, taco, taco.
Thanks, Kevin Brown. Oh, you got a chalupa? Dario Caspian Horses Rock. Yeah. Wow. Hey, thanks for the yeah, I like the Beastie Boys too. Thanks, Tracy, Dario Caspian Horses Rock, and Lee D.
I'll be the oddball and get a chalupa.
Chalupa. Sounds like... Yeah, chalupa. I wasn't really a big fan of Brass Monkey. Never liked that one. I liked...
Margaritas and tacos, taco,
Paul
taco.
Revere, those kind of... I didn't like Brass Monkey at all. I always hated that one when it came on. No, I didn't hate it. I just didn't like it. Yep. Brass Monkey.
Tumbler glass love Beastie Boys.
That funky monkey. Alright, I'm going to read this over here. There's this one comment. I remember her when we were in school. There were numerous rumors surrounding her death. My hopes is... Yeah, your hope is that one day justice is served for taking such a young life. No one deserves to lose their life at such a young age. It's been much longer than 20 years. I still remember it like it was yesterday. So sad after all these years. They haven't solved it. Someone knows something. I agree, someone out there got away with murder. Absolutely right. I hope they solve it. Exactly. More like somewhere between 30 and 32 years. She always sat behind me. That's almost closer to 40, actually. These guys were typing this 1 year ago. Well, no, it was 86, right? This one? Yeah, this one's 86, so yeah, 34. Yeah. She always sat behind me in Mr. Shore's class, and I remember when she left to go visit family with her mama, I believe, never came back. We were still in Alfred School then. The age of 15 would have put us in high school. We were in Alfred. That was such a tragedy to have happened. I remembered the story that I heard of what happened, and nothing about it sounded right. Well, of course. What? Nothing about it sounded right. Yeah, well, she left the house, and then, she got murdered, so there can't be anything that sounds right about that story. She had been held back 1 year. I can remember her, something like BD was exactly 1 year different. Let's see. What's BD? Different than mine. She would have been 47 now. I knew she and I was in Mrs. DuPont's class together in first grade. She always wanted to sit next to me when she would have reading time. So I don't know. I actually thought about this one time and wondered whatever happened to her. Killer. That's pretty cool, all these people that remembered her. Wow, Krista Allen niece. Where's that? Well, it'd be interesting. I don't know. It sounds totally legit. I think she got abducted by somebody. I don't think somebody like a cousin or, where she was at did anything, because there was a witness that saw her at the grocery store at 1 to 2 in the morning, right? So she was out there doing something, and then somebody saw her. The old adage, nothing good happens after 1 o'clock. Or 2 in the morning, whatever the hell it is, when the bars close. Thanks, Lil Andy. Anyways, I'll probably look at that page a little bit more. Okay, I'm going to switch cases now to one of the other ones. This one is Rosemary Haney. Oh, gross.
That's blue.
Is that poop? That's sick.
Diarrhea then.
Ah, yeah.
That's blue.
Yeah, they both screw up. I guess Blue's in trouble. He had some sort of a diarrhea in the, oh, gross. Yeah. Except he's old, he should know better. That's why he's hidden in this crate. Dang, Blue. Shit. Oh, boy. Alright, the next one is Rosemary Haney. Yeah, this is another one that has almost no information on it. The body found at a wooded area, found at a wooded lot Saturday, has been identified as that of a 14-year-old girl who ran away from her home last week after leaving her mother a goodbye note. So apparently she was running away. Pinell Sheriff's detectives said they confirmed Monday morning that the body was that of Rose Haney. The Sheriff's Department is investigating the death as a murder, but has no suspect. So you know what's weird is when you go back in time, I guess 1983, there were still people hitchhiking and everything. And so that's the thing, is back then, there was a lot of just absolute whack job killers driving around picking up hitchhikers. But thankfully now, people don't hitchhike as much. I mean, it's really rare. Only idiots hitchhike at this point. Thanks, Lil Andy. Yeah, poor Blue.
Poop.
Ugh. Ew, it's gross, man. Ew. No, I think she was. It said the body found at a wooded lot Saturday has been identified as that of a 14-year-old girl who ran away from her home last week after leaving her mother a goodbye note. So are you saying, Brandy, that they invented the goodbye note too? Because they're so lazy they go, oh, come on. Hey, Officer Jim, would you just go ahead and write a goodbye note too? That doesn't make any sense. Sorry. Maybe you're right on other instances, but not this one. Okay? Sounds like she left a goodbye note. Pinell Sheriff detectives said they confirmed Monday morning that the body was that of Rose Haney. The Sheriff's Department is investigating the death as a murder, but has no suspects. So you got to let the rest of the story develop. They found her body. She was murdered, but she did run away at the time. He declined to say how the girl died. And it could have been that she planned to go away with somebody, but they don't know who that is. Monday afternoon, Rita Haney sobbed as she sat unseen in front of a droning TV set at her mobile home. She speculated that her blonde-haired daughter, Rose, an 8th grade student at Safety Harbor Middle School, might have run away last Tuesday because she was rebelling. Mrs. Haney said that she had recently restricted Rose from seeing her boyfriend. Ah, there you go. So you'd think that she would have got a hold of the boyfriend. But why would the boyfriend, need to do that if she was like rebelling, so it's got to be something else. But Rose and she had shared milk and cinnamon rolls at the kitchen table Tuesday, Miss Haney continued. Then in the note Miss Haney found about midnight, Rose said she wasn't coming back. Well, that's weird. So maybe the note was actually, maybe she didn't write that note, interestingly. But Rose and she had shared milk and cinnamon rolls at the kitchen table Tuesday. Mrs. Haney continued. Then in the note Miss Haney found about midnight, Rose said she wasn't coming back. Hi. Now it sort of brings that boyfriend back into, quote, boyfriend maybe into the picture, or some other person. Maybe got into her house, had her write. I don't know. It just seems. That seems pretty complicated. I mean, there'd be no really a reason. Why not just abduct her? Because Rose was considerate. If I got upset, it hurt her, Miss Haney recalled. I thought she would be back in. I thought she just needed a little time. Rose was believed to have left home at 10:15 p.m. So sounds like they do think she just kind of left on her own. After 10:15 p.m., her mother. Okay, Brandy. After 10:15 p.m., her mother, who had gone to bed, discovered her absence when awakened a little later by the family dog. So the family dog probably was barking as they were probably leaving or something. She said she called police after midnight on discovering the farewell note. So it does sound like she just kind of left. Maybe the sharing of the milk and cinnamon rolls was sort of her goodbye, good moment with her mom, so they didn't leave on bad terms. The girl's partially clad body was found Saturday by some boys cutting across an overgrown lot off downtown State Street. Children often play at the lot near... Okay, let's see if we can find this one. Oldsmar City Hall. Okay. More tacos. All right. Thanks, Kit Kat. You're going to sleep? All right. Well, thanks for getting me some tacos going tonight, Kit Kat. Very kind.
I don't want to, but I have taco. Lol, get it to go rolling on the floor laughing, rolling on the floor laughing, rolling on the floor laughing. Good night, freaks. Taco.
And again, Streamlabs, it's not LOL, okay? It's LOL. Okay? Just put that in your algorithm. That LOL doesn't mean, it's not LOL, okay? Well, I don't know if it's an algorithm, but you're coding. If you see space, LOL, space, or anything other than a letter before the LOL, it's not LOL. The girl's partially clad body was found Saturday by some boys cutting across an overgrown lot off downtown State Street. Okay, that's State Street right here. This one. Boys cutting across an overgrown lot off downtown State Street. Children often play at the lot near Oldsmar City Hall. So it kind of looks like it could be any one of these. This general area right here. It's still I mean, I bet you if you go back in time, 1995, see, it looks the same. It's no different. So I think it's probably, I wouldn't even be surprised if it was that. Or maybe it's this one right here. That looks like a lot. See? Yeah. And I bet you the guy pulled into that lot there. Okay, that makes sense now. For the Psycho. So that's what I'm going to guess that this has just been there for a while. It's a lot. Let me see if I get. Isn't there Street View here? Yeah. Yeah, where is Kubi? I haven't seen Stacy in a while either. I sent her an email, but she's been busier. Okay, is that the... Oh, so it was over here. Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if at one point, like, this was completely overgrown. And the killer took her, drove into here, assaulted her, then strangled her and left her body there. And it's interesting because it's right near City Hall where police are. How weird is that, huh? So they left her body right by the police station. The girl's partially clad body was found Saturday by some boys cutting across an overgrown lot off downtown State Street. Children often play at the lot near Oldsmar City Hall. Pinellas Pasco medical examiner Dr. Joan Wood said Monday that her office was performing an autopsy and could not discuss a possible cause of death. Word spread quickly through Safety Harbor Middle School Monday among students that a body believed to be that of a classmate had been discovered. Principal Linda Richmond said she may tell students the facts they need to know and also wants to find a way to help the family. They must be in horrible turmoil right now, Mrs. Richmond said. What I want to do is to be a calming influence and to try to and protect the family as much as I can. The mother of a 15-year-old boy who found the girl's body said that her children are not going out alone. I can guarantee you that. The area is rural and unused to such problems. On the main street of Oldsmar, there's a grass growing in the street. That's how much traffic there is. Yeah. Both Mrs. Richmond and Miss Haney, a slim, dark-haired woman who sat gently rocking in a padded chair in her living room, called Rose an excellent student. The attractive, wavy-haired girl was on Safety Harbor's track team, was a B student, and liked to draw. She was considered to be quite talented, said Mrs. Richmond. She also was well-liked. Track team member who ran with Rose last year asked their coach Monday if they could help her family. Mrs. Haney, who is divorced and has 2 children, lives at, I was going to look that up, 401 County Road 233. So here we go. 401 County Road 233. So it's not far from there at all. Man. So I wonder if this has changed. 401. I wonder if it's that, like that house right there. That looks like an apartment, though. Interesting. Totally different now, I bet. That was 1983, so... 95 had that similar look. Every time you turned around, she was drawing something, said Mrs. Haney. The teary-eyed 33-year-old woman sat with an overstuffed scrapbook on her lap, occasionally stroked a colored picture of Rose, and talked about her 5'8" daughter. Looked a lot older than her age. Rose had a boyfriend from Tampa, Miss Haney said, but she declined to say why she restricted her daughter from seeing him for a month. I guess she was rebelling, Miss Haney said. The mother said, however, that Rose had never run away before. But doesn't it seem like if she has a boyfriend that she's being restricted to see, that if she's going to run away, the first person he's going to, she's going to try to get to see would be him, right? But then again, why would he need to kill her? It's like that's his girlfriend, right? Doesn't make any sense. Yeah, people don't have to be here every single night, you guys. This is, I know every people have other things that they're doing. I mean, it's cool when everybody's here, but, nobody's required to be here. But I appreciate you showing up. Let me go. What was her name, though? Her full name. Rita Haney. Okay. Rita Haney. Clearwater, Florida. All right. Maybe it's not Clearwater. What do you think this is? Oldsmar? Oldsmar. Hold on. Yeah, I'm just looking something up. I wonder if she's still out there. The mother. 75 sounds about right, doesn't it? Yeah. And they said that she was found So 401 is the number. Nah, I can't. Well, no, there was Seymour. Ah, no. Not there. Well, that's crazy though, huh? I mean, it's just... Huh, that's that Wendy Huggy case. So close. That's the one we talked about a couple days ago. It's not far away from there at all, interestingly. Look at all these cases that I've been doing down here. .401 County Road 233. Yeah, so that's not far away at all. It's almost like she left the house and then somebody picked her up hitchhiking and then immediately just drove her somewhere and killed her. I mean, look how close that is. It's not even, I bet you that's not barely over a mile, if a mile. Yeah, 1.04 miles. So she's at home, leaves a note for her mom. After, early in the day, sharing milk and a cinnamon roll. Then she says, "I'm not returning." And then she leaves the house, apparently around 10:30. Her mother hears the dog bark, and she's not around. And then the following day, her body's found partially nude in this park right here. Okay, let me get I think I have one more article here. This is from the 20th. So this article is 9 days later. Man, what a lame troll that guy was. Jesus. A $1,000 reward is being offered for information that will assist law enforcement officers investigating the death of 14-year-old Rose Haney. Her partially clad body was found October 8th by boys walking through an overgrown lot at the corner of State and Fairfield Roads. State. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. See, it says State and Fairfield. That's right there. So, I guess it could be this lot right here, And that actually looks a little bit more abandoned, like maybe right over in this area. And then the person drives here, kind of feels secluded. Like, look at that old crap right there. That 95, there was stuff going on there. And there was actually buildings there, so I'm going to stick with what I had originally. Could even be like right back in here, because that hasn't changed. That is a field. If you notice, like, this is all built up, and then over the years... Oh, weird. So that's crazy. Hold on. Alright, so November 2019, there's nothing there. And if we go back to 2017, there are buildings right here. So I'm thinking it's probably this one over here. Thanks, Christy B. And yes, everybody, thank you for supporting the channel. You guys are the only reason that I'm able to do this, since the ad revenue is zero almost. Okay, so it's not any of these, and they said the corner here, so it's right in this area for sure. Alright, so let me just get through this last article. Her partially clad body was found October 8th by boys walking through an overgrown lot at the corner of State and Fairfield. At Tuesday night city council meeting, a group of residents urged city officials to order the lot cleared. Oh, wait, ordered the lot cleared. Oh, okay, cleared of the brush. The girl's death is being investigated by Pinellas County Sheriff's Department. Preliminary results of an autopsy indicate the girl was murdered, authorities have said. Thanks, Raina Marie. Thanks, be serene. Yeah, I'm just covering cases, not death row executions. Yeah, cold cases from the 80s. Yeah. So the preliminary results of an autopsy indicate the girl was murdered. Anyone with information about the death should call Sheriff's Detective Tony Picardi. An anonymous donation of $1,000 has been made to the city to be used as a reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of Rose Haney's killer. That's a little interesting. Yeah. I wonder who sent that in. Also during the meeting, a petition signed by 420 Oldsmar residents was presented to the council requesting that the lot, which is for sale, be cleaned and maintained. So it does look like it's being maintained since then. Harold said the owner of the lot has been contacted and the scrubs will be cleared either by the lot's owner or by the city. Alright, well, believe it or not, that's it for that. There's like no information. I mean, how come that case right there doesn't have, you know, a bunch of different Facebook posts and all kinds of... I mean, it's just crazy. It seems like... It almost feels like it's somebody local in here because she lived right here. Probably isn't the boyfriend, because why would the boyfriend need to be doing anything like that? Yeah.
Good luck with your channel.
Thanks. I always think when people come in like that appear to have another channel, they're really just advertising their own channel. Oh, well, there's a lot of people here. I thought I'd say something. Oh, maybe people will click on me and come over. That's what I always feel like's going on. Here comes the guy with the horses again. Just block that person. They're not really interested in your channel at all. They're just trying to... Yeah, just don't keep letting the horse people type stuff in. I thought there was one that said EV. Yeah, could be. It happens all the time, Death Row. So that's why I'm saying it. It's just the reality. I've very personable? What do you mean, your feed? I don't really understand that whole sentence you just typed in there. But anyways, I gotta move on. Yeah, so she lives here. She's running away. You'd think she would have already something set up with the boyfriend, right? Like she would already have something set up with the boyfriend, and before she would leave, right? And didn't they say that she heard her? Didn't she say she heard a vehicle in the one? Let me see. Okay. Her mother, who had gone to bed, discovered her absence when awakened a little later by the family dog. She said she called police after midnight on discovering the farewell note. Okay, so no. They just heard the dog. It almost seems like something happened right then, right? Doesn't it? Almost feels like somebody, I don't know, like a car came and got her or something, because why would her dog bark if she left? Although I gotta admit that my dog barks every single time I leave the house. But it's hard to say if, I mean, it's interesting that their own family dog would bark if it was just her leaving. So it could have been that a car came and picked her up and she was leaving with that person. And here's another thing too. You have a boyfriend that you're not being allowed to see, but probably somebody she really loved and wanted to be with. And then of course, when she left with him, it would be for the rest of her life, she would think, as a 15-year-old, right? So that's how you would word it. So it almost feels like he would have picked her up, but then why would he need to strangle her? And, you know, in terms of, I mean, it's his girlfriend. He already could have probably, you know, they probably were already sexually active, and maybe that's even why he wasn't allowed to see her. What do you think of that? Yeah, maybe. It just seems... Why would she leave the house without the boyfriend coming to get her? Was he going to meet her at some corner somewhere? I mean, where was she going to be going? Yeah, this is a weird one. I bet this is one that'd be interesting to talk to the police on, because it's about as cold as you can possibly get. Hopefully they again did, you know, have a DNA swab going on here. Yeah. So, anyways, I think she was going to be leaving, and she'd already communicated with her boyfriend. That seems really obvious. You're not allowed to see your boyfriend for a month, and then you run away. Well, of course you're going to be, you know, use the telephone or something when your mom's not around and say, "Hey, I'm out of here." So maybe she was going to go meet him somewhere and then got abducted in between. It just doesn't seem likely that she would just sort of get stuff, walk outside the house without a plan. Yeah, she was a smart kid, they said. She's not going to leave the house without a plan. Thanks, Fiber Sleuth.
Coffee and cookies.
Yeah, I don't know how old the boyfriend was. That's one thing that they didn't say. And you notice how they said she looked older for her age. So, I mean, she was 5'8", and she was dating probably an older guy. That's probably why they brought it up. Yeah, so right here it says, after Rita Haney sobbed as she sat unseeing in front of a droning TV set. Right here it said, Miss Haney said that she had recently restricted Rose from seeing her boyfriend, but Rose and she had shared milk and cinnamon rolls at the kitchen table Tuesday. Mrs. Haney continued, then in the note Miss Haney found about midnight, Rose said she wasn't coming back because Rose was considerate. If I got upset, it hurt her. Miss Haney recalled, I thought she would be back in. I thought she just needed a little time. Rose was believed to have left home after 10:15 p.m. Her mother, who had gone to bed, discovered her absence when awakened a little later by the family's dog. She said she called police after midnight on discovering the farewell note. The girl's partially clad body was found Saturday by some boys cutting across the overgrown lot of downtown State Street. Children often played at the lot near Oldsmar City Hall. Yeah. So, anyways, she lives right there, and just a mile later is where her body was found in this park right here, or whatever you call it, abandoned lot, and partially clad. It's just such a bizarre thing, because the odds would be if somebody's running away, they would definitely, yeah, just every once in a while, just trust what I'm saying. Yeah, so she's leaving. She's going to run away, and she has a boyfriend that she's been restricted to see. She's not going to just sort of whimsically run out the door with a knapsack. You know, I think she would have had a plan at that point. She wasn't just going to hitchhike down to see where and show up at her boyfriend's place. All right. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, it's like the people that show up and goes, "What the hell is this?" Yeah, well, that's what I don't know. People can deny that stuff all the time, but it's just a reality. Okay, well, that's it for that case, Rosemary Haney. Very strange. I wonder how their investigation has gone. They must have checked to see if phone calls were made from that house and where they were to. Okay, the next one we'll be discussing is I think it'll be Tiffany Sessions, 1989. And this one's just a missing persons case still to this day. I'm sure she's not alive, but it's a missing persons. So this article is from February 12th, 1989. It's weird how often you get the ones right around Valentine's Day. I mean, seriously, I get a bunch of them that are February 12th, 13th, 14th. Tiffany Sessions, a 20-year-old finance major at the University of Florida, was indulging in one of her favorite pastimes, power walking, when she disappeared on a dark, wooded road near her Gainesville apartment. She is an avid athlete whose family's wealth has allowed her to indulge passions for skiing and horseback riding. 2 years ago, she took up power walking as an alternative to jogging because she was troubled by shin splints. Last week, Tiffany had been looking forward to an annual ski trip at Aspen, Colorado, with her father, Patrick Sessions, the president of the Weston Division of Arvida, the South Florida real estate giant. Friends and relatives described Tiffany as cheerful, energetic, and somewhat headstrong, a person with strong opinions who never hesitated to express them. She's a strong woman, both physically and emotionally, which I'm hoping will stand her in good stead with whatever is going on now. She's vivacious, very attractive, very bright, said Maria Tannenbaum, public relations manager for Avida's Weston division, where Tiffany worked as a receptionist. Tiffany's parents were divorced a year after her birth at Doctors Hospital in Coral Gables. As a child, she traveled around the country with her mother, Hillary Sessions, who was in the U.S. Air Force. She went to school in Davis, California, Austin, Texas, Boxborough, Massachusetts, where her mother's parents had a farm before enrolling in Lawrence Academy. This almost seems like a prepared statement by somebody, doesn't it? When we moved back to Massachusetts in 1975, I bought her a pony, and she was old enough to handle the pony, said Hillary Sessions. She was 7 at the time. She's been riding ever since. Tiffany rode competitively and went fox hunting with the Groton Pony Club. Man, I mean, sounds like she's really rich. You know, like most people don't go fox hunting, okay? No, I used to do it all the time. Right after I ate my possum pie, I would... Yeah. Patrick Sessions was remarried to Kitty Sessions, and they have a son, 16-year-old Jason. Yeah, so, I mean, there's a lot of... I don't even know why they put out all that information. A lot of it's completely... Like, she had mono and stuff. Like, that was the next paragraph. Okay, joining a national campaign to find his missing granddaughter, Jeffrey Roberts went to the farm store on US 17 in eastern Punta Gorda Thursday and passed out flyers printed with Tiffany Sessions' smiling face. A trucker saw the flyers and offered to distribute them as he drove through the state. How ironic. The truckers are helping us. The National Football League is helping. Even the governor is on it. Olive and Jeffrey Roberts, both 70, are the grandparents of 20-year-old Tiffany Sessions, the University of Florida student who disappeared February 9th after she left her Gainesville apartment to take a walk. The Roberts' daughter, Hillary Sessions, is married to Patrick Sessions, president of Weston Division. Okay. She's very conscientious. Whenever she went anywhere, she would let people know when she'd be back. Olive Roberts said that's why her roommate was worried when she didn't return. She had no keys, no wallet, he said. Sessions carried only her Rolex watch and a Walkman portable radio. Sessions is described as 5'3", 125 pounds, with shoulder-length blonde hair and hazel eyes. She was last seen wearing red sweatpants, a long-sleeve white pullover with gray horizontal stripes, and either blue or white Reebok low-cut sports shoes. We're more and more convinced there's a possibility that Tiffany is out of the state, Sessions said. We haven't found anything in Gainesville to indicate she's still here. Well, still there. Well, yeah, well, that doesn't mean she's out of state. It just means, that could just mean she's not alive or has no ability to use her credit cards or anything like that. Yeah, that's her father right there. He was flying around in a helicopter looking for her. You know, and this whole page is about her, basically. And then there's another story of another missing person, but it's, I mean, the stories, they're taking up all this airway of the stories talking about all the stuff that they're doing instead of really focusing in on trying to and sort of irrelevant stuff to me. I mean, they spent absolutely just an insane amount of money looking for her. She was in the paper every single month for forever. The searchers remain baffled, so maybe this will have something. More than 6 weeks after University of Florida co-ed Tiffany Sessions was last seen, posters of the 20-year-old blonde are fading on store windows throughout Gainesville. I haven't really heard anything about her recently, said Mike Novak, a neighbor of Sessions at the Casablanca East Apartments. Nobody talks about it much anymore. Not so at home, 100 miles away in Valrico, where Sessions' mother Hillary maintains a daily vigil, nor 300 miles away in Fort Lauderdale, where Sessions' father Patrick has retained a psychic. Oh boy, Jesus. I mean, that's pretty sad when you've got somebody this wealthy that's done everything he can and can't find his daughter, and now he's relying on a freaking psychic, you know. Patrick Sessions, the 43-year-old president of Arvida Company, a 10,000-acre Weston development in Broward County, has used his marketing finesse and some high-profile friends to promote a media blitz that has made his daughter one of the most famous missing persons in America. I don't remember ever hearing of her. Thanks, Cairo. Haven't seen you in a while. What the hell have you been doing? And Michelle Nicholas. Yeah, I don't remember ever hearing about this one, but apparently it was pretty big. It obviously is big because it's all over the newspapers.
Good evening, loves. Pound that thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up.
Michelle Nicholas.
Best show on YouTube. Where else can you learn about so many unknown and forgotten cases?
Oh, that's right. I know. Oh, that's right. You're indisposed. Indisposed. Okay, you're right. Okay. North 300 miles away, this is the part that bugs me, in Fort Lauderdale, where Sessions' father Patrick has retained a psychic from Orlando and a hypnotist from Miami to supplement the work of the FBI. And the FBI is probably like, they're not supplementing anything. Get them the hell out of here. You know, I should actually ask somebody at some point, do you guys give any credibility to psychics? And if they say yes, I'll immediately have less faith in them. There's this. I guess this is page 2. Co-ed's father asked psychics help in search. After scouring the 300-acre woods near the unlighted roads where Tiffany had gone walking, turned up nothing. February 10th and 11th, Patrick Sessions, who had chartered a helicopter to join the search, launched a nationwide campaign to assist in the investigation. He called on the governor. Look at this crazy crap right here. On February 12th, authorities examined a severed leg that was found in the Tennessee River and have not ruled out the possibility the limb belonged to Tiffany Sessions. It turns out it wasn't her leg. But, my God, there's just sort of legs floating around. Jeez. I think people are tired of the Ted Bundys of the world, he said. In the early stages, the massive publicity campaign raised some questions in news accounts that Patrick Sessions' affluence was producing more than normal attention by authorities. Well, yeah. There is a perception out there that law enforcement gave this case special focus. Well, unfortunately, that happens. Okay? It does suck. I mean, you're just sort of looking for stuff. Oh, when a leg shows up. Come on. Oh. FBI tests show severed section of leg did not belong to Tiffany. Neither the FBI nor the Marion County, Tennessee Medical Examiner's Office would elaborate on the results of the test. Authorities previously had discounted speculation that the leg found in Tennessee River on February 12th belonged to Sessions. They said the leg appeared to have been in the water too long to belong to Sessions, who disappeared February 9th. We still continue our efforts to find Tiffany. Sessions' search goes on as father fears his fear mounts. The glare of television light. Okay, as each day goes by, Patrick Sessions feels more frustration and more fear about what happened to his 20-year-old daughter. He's endured 2 months long after sleepless nights. I didn't exactly expect it to go this long. See, he thought like all of his money. See, that's a crazy thing about psycho. When you're killed by like a serial killer type, it doesn't matter how much money the family has that you came from. The same outcome is going to happen because it has nothing to do with your money. And I think there may be hope. The father of University of Florida student who disappeared nearly 5 months ago says a man who allegedly tried to extort $200,000 from him may know something about his daughter's whereabouts. Tiffany Sessions, 20, has been missing since February 9th when she went for a walk near her Gainesville apartment. Police believe she was abducted. Patrick Sessions set up a hotline for anyone with information on his daughter, but most of the calls have been dismissed. On Friday, a federal magistrate denied bail to Ephraim Villali, who was jailed along with another man for extortion attempt. Villali, 30, of Gainesville, was arrested Wednesday, along with Joseph Stahl, 39, of Dade County. Sessions, an executive with Arvidas Weston Development, talked to Villali for more than 6 hours. So they let him be like an interrogator? That is special access, right? Like, he's got all this money and He gets to go in there and interview the guy for 6 hours Tuesday and Wednesday, with most of the calls taped by the FBI agents. Oh, maybe, no, I think, okay, those are just calls. Those aren't like interrogations. I think those are just phone calls, like they were trying to extort from him, so he just stayed on the phone with them. I think there may be some hope, Sessions said, although authorities said the calls were a hoax. Lally told Session that his daughter was being held on Cedar Key, about 60 miles southwest of Gainesville, and if Sessions failed to pay for her safe return, her captors would take her by boat to Trinidad. Lally said Tiffany Sessions was alive but sick and in need of medical attention. During one call, Vallely told Sessions his cousins were holding his daughter and would send him a finger every week if he didn't meet money demands. FBI agents went to Cedar Key to see if there was any truth to Vallely's claims. FBI spokesman Paul Miller said, but no other details were given. So they did actually go all the way to Jesus. They checked that out anyways. I'd like to, they don't really give a lot of details on how she went missing. You know, where she was running. Yeah. Let's see what this one. This is 1990. This one. So it's not long after all those. 2 years later. So they won't give up after 2 years. The mother of Tiffany Sessions, the University of Florida student who disappeared almost 2 years ago, ignited a fruitless nationwide search, is vowing not to let authorities forget about the case. Leads are few and unreliable. The FBI has moved investigators on the case to other assignments until a significant lead surfaces, but FBI agents assured Tiffany's mother, Hillary Sessions, that they're not dropping the case. The FBI office at Jacksonville still maintains the Tiffany Sessions investigation in a pending status, and all leads that are received are immediately and aggressively pursued. Hillary Sessions, who lives in Malacro, said Friday that she was alarmed when she heard news reports earlier in the week that FBI was dropping the case. She said the FBI told her the case has been reduced to a pending status because of the trickle of leads, but she said she was assured that any new leads would be given top priority. Yeah, I mean, it was a huge story, I guess. I mean, you can tell by the newspaper because it's just continual coverage. What does BMK stand for? Well, I don't think it was that big like in Oregon. I didn't hear much about it. I think probably it's pretty big over there. I would be forced to think the odds are as good as the day she left. I mean, I think at that point they would have realized she just wasn't alive anymore. Yeah, they're not really saying whose leg it was. Yeah, that's the thing is, like, now I want to know whose leg that was, right? So the Charlie Project had a a write-up on her and a ton of different pictures of her. So that's her, all these different shots here. That's probably an age progressed one there. Let's see. Tiffany was, let's see if this should have a lot more specific information. Tiffany was a junior at the University of Florida in Gainesville in 1989. She majored in finance. She resided in the 2600 block. Well, there you go. Let's type that in there. 2600 Southwest 35th Place, Casa Blanca Place. Yeah, that wasn't going to be the right one. In Gainesville. Okay. So she lived in some condominiums. Tiffany told her roommates she was going to take a walk along Williston Road. So let's get that. I was thinking that was up there. Oh wow, is that too? Oh man. So there's Williston Road. I hope that... Oh, okay, then it goes this way. Apparently. Power walk. Witnesses saw a woman matching Tiffany's description speaking to several unidentified individuals in a vehicle shortly afterwards. Oh. The woman may have entered the car, but the witnesses were uncertain. Authorities have never confirmed if the person was Tiffany. She has never been heard from again. She left her wallet, keys, and identification inside her residence. Michael Christopher Nickbacher was considered a possible suspect in Tiffany's case for many years. He was sentenced to 5 terms of life in prison in 1990 for the 1989 rape of a 20-year-old Gainesville college student. He had a prior record for sex offenses and other crimes. Oh, that was from the other night, the bride man killer. Yeah. Remember that? But it didn't deserve an acronym already. Like we're supposed to all remember that. Let's see. Michael Christopher Nickbacher was considered a possible suspect in Tiffany's case for many years. He was sentenced to 5 terms of life in prison in 1990 for the 1989 rape of 20-year-old Gainesville college student. He had a prior record. In 2005, he pleaded no contest to first-degree murder in the 1989 shooting death of a 12-year-old Stark, Florida girl. He was given an additional life sentence for the crime and will be 74. That does sound like a pretty good... He was in the area at the time, and he a rapist and a killer at the same time. A photo of Knickerbocker is posted with the case summary. He allegedly told other inmates that he chained Tiffany to a tree near Gainesville on the night of her disappearance. Nickbacher claimed that he murdered her shortly afterward and disposed of her remains in the Caloosahatchee River near Fort Myers, Florida. Investigators searched the area after receiving the information from an informant, but no evidence was found at the scene. Authorities stated that materials connected to Tiffany's disappearance may have been lost in the surf as a result of time lapse. But it may be worth noting that Knickerbocker lived near the victim he killed and near the scene of his prior rape, but he wasn't living in Gainesville when Tiffany disappeared. Nickbacher also mentioned that Tiffany's sweatshirt was buried outside of Gainesville. Investigators searched the specified location on August 2002 and recovered a piece of blood-soaked material. Authorities tested the material to determine if Tiffany's DNA was on them. The results have not been publicly announced. Several media outlets reported that the material did not appear to originate from a sweatshirt. In February 2014, nearly 25 years after Tiffany's disappearance, a suspect was named in her kidnapping and presumed murder, Paul Rolls. A photo of Rolls is posted with the case summary. He had been sentenced to life in prison in 1976, murder of Miami-Dade County, Florida, but was released from prison in 1985. Wow, you get life in prison, but you get out in 9 years. Boy, that sounds just about right. I don't know, Katie. It doesn't really have anything to do with what we're talking about. Zoom's pretty safe at this point. They fixed all the errors. In 1994, he was sentenced on multiple 19 counts, including sexual battery, attempted sexual battery, kidnapping, and lewd and lascivious molestation. His victim in that case, a 19-year-old Clearwater, Florida woman, managed to escape. He died of natural causes in 2013. Investigators believe Rolls was a serial killer and Tiffany was his second victim. They're searching for her body near the site where his other known murder victim was buried. Shortly after his death, DNA linked him to the unsolved murder of a 21-year-old woman whose body was found in a shallow grave only about a mile from where Tiffany disappeared. Oh boy. Now that's a good suspect right there. He is known to have delivered scaffolding to a construction project along Tiffany's jogging path. Authorities also found a day planner Rolls kept in prison, which, while it did not mention Tiffany's name, did have the number 2 written next to the date of her disappearance. Oh man. Oh Jesus. I bet that's the guy. He died though in 2013. The Rolex company has flagged Tiffany's watch, so they will be notified if anyone tries to sell or pawn it. The watch can be identified by its unique serial number. Tiffany's case remains unsolved. There have not been any arrests in connection to her disappearance. Huh. That's crazy. That one there seemed like that could have been it. Yeah. Yeah, life doesn't mean shit if it doesn't say without parole, right? Okay, well the last one we'll be talking about is MarySueCobb. This is 1982. This one was kind of a weird one. You know, yeah, I'll just go through it. But anyways, here it is. Services for MarySueCobb, 27 of 535 Main Street, Cocoa, are scheduled for 11 a.m. The homemaker and Brevard resident for 3 years, Miss Cobb, was stabbed to death in her home Friday. Survivors include her husband, Mark Cobb of Cocoa, parents John and Montine Carpenter, and brothers and sisters. Okay, so 535 Main Street. So apparently right there. So it's down right around that side there, I guess. And then, like the next article, there was hardly anything at first. A 24-year-old Cuban refugee who arrived in the United States aboard the 1980 Freedom Flotilla was indicted Friday on a first-degree murder charge stemming from the April slaying of a Cocoa woman. Juan F. Ramos was being held without bond on the Brevard County Jail, or in the Brevard County Jail in Titusville after his arrest Friday. Cocoa Police Captain L.H. Pickle said Ramos had been in a Cuban prison before he left on the Mariel boat lift in the summer of 1980. A Brevard County grand jury heard testimony from 5 witnesses all day Thursday and agreed there was enough evidence to make Ramos stand trial for the murder of MarySueCobb. Cobb, a blonde 27-year-old homemaker, had been raped and stabbed 17 times in the throat and chest. An 18-inch butcher knife was lodged in her throat when her husband found her body the afternoon of April 23rd. Could you imagine? Coming home, and then that's how you see. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Pickle said Cobb and her husband, Mark, 28, knew Ramos because Mrs. Cobb had told him, sold him Amway products. There was no sign of a struggle, and nothing was missing from the couple's home. Described as a very religious, cautious person, Cobb never would have permitted anyone whom she did not know to enter the house. Cobb has taken her husband to work at Creative Shaping at Merritt Island that morning and planned to pick him up for lunch. So that means she was killed between, probably a 4-hour window. He became alarmed and got a ride to their home where he found her body. Mark Cobb, who dated his wife a year before they were married 2 years ago, could not be reached for comment. Ramos was sent to the refugee camp in Fort Walton Beach after he arrived on a boat lift. After his release, he worked for a short time at Gulf Coast Nursing Home and married a woman he met in that town. Okay. Cubans from boat lift draw murder charges. A 24-year-old Cuban refugee who arrived in the... I don't know if they're talking about more than one. There's another one right here, a 47-year-old as well. So let's see. Then 6 months later, jailhouse conversation points to Ramos. Prosecutors handling the first-degree murder case against Juan F. Ramos on Wednesday disclosed the content of jailhouse talks. they said incriminated the 25-year-old Coco man in the slang. James Earl Gilmore, a cellmate of Ramos at the Brevard County Jail, said that the Cuban refugee made several remarks regarding MarySueCobb, whom Ramos is accused of stabbing to death in April. According to one of the statements made in November, Gilmore said Ramos told him, "I went to her house to get something I ordered from her. She let me in and she was looking good. She started to get scared and then the bitch screamed. She screamed loud enough for anyone to hear her and I went pow, pow, pow." Gilmore said Ramos told him on numerous occasions Ramos thought Cobb was pretty and he wanted to have sex with her. Prosecutors placed the information Wednesday in the court files and went to use it against Ramos in his murder trial, rescheduled for next month. Cobb, 27, was found dead April 23rd in her home. She had been raped and stabbed 17 times in the throat. Nothing in the Cobb house was disturbed, and police speculate she knew her killer. That does kind of make sense. 18-inch knife stuck in her, too. Crazy. Gilmore had been held in the jail awaiting trial on 8 charges of grand theft. White said he didn't know whether Gilmore would be given a plea arrangement in return for his testimony. Okay, so there's that. Knife submitted as murder weapon. Testimony in Juan Ramos' murder trial revealed Wednesday that prosecutors believe they have located the knife used to kill MarySueCobb. What? How fortunate. 15-year-old Robert Estes testified that he found a knife December 18th while visiting his grandparents, who live in the victim's neighborhood. The wooden-handled kitchen knife discovered along railroad tracks just north of Main Street appeared to be one of a set that belonged to Mark and MarySueCobb. Cobb, 27, was found stabbed to death April 23rd in her home with an 11-inch butcher knife. Now it's 11, not 18. In other testimony Wednesday, 2 of Ramos's co-workers told of his infatuation with Cobb. They testified that Ramos, like other Armo flight employees, watched Cobb, who lived across from the machinist company. Ramos, however, never said anything derogatory or threatening. Much of the second day of trial focused on a testimony from a bloodstain expert and on slide prosecutors showed of the crime scene despite objections by Ramos's attorney. Man, that must have been horrific to look at. Prosecutors also submitted into evidence a map they say Ramos drew in jail titled "A Map for My Defense," and that contained Spanish scribblings. Brevard County Jail cellmate James Gilmore testified that Ramos said he went to Cobb's house the morning of her death and left by a route different from the one he usually took when he visited her. Words on the map, translated by a Sanford police officer also fluent in Spanish, said, "Places where I went, and I remember what I did that day. May she rest in peace." And then the jury asked for a life term for him. But turns out that the judge gave him a death sentence. A 25-year-old Mariel refugee has been sentenced to die in the electric chair for killing a woman by stabbing her 17 times in the chest and neck with an 11-inch butcher knife. Brevard Circuit Judge William Woodson rejected a 35-minute plea for life by Juan F. Ramos before sentencing him Thursday. A circuit court jury January 25th found Ramos guilty of murder of MarySueCobb. Ramos was quiet when Woodson imposed the penalty after 2.5-hour sentencing session in which Ramos, his family, and attorney denied he killed Cobb. The victim's husband, Mark, found Cobb's nude and bound body, a butcher knife sticking from her chest, in the doorway of their bedroom. Prosecutors said the attack was sexually motivated and that Ramos killed the woman to avoid going to jail after he had raped her. Yeah, and so then there was this whole thing on dogs. You know, several pending and past cases in Brevard County included the first-degree murder conviction of a man sentenced to die, are in question now that a trained scent dog failed a court-ordered test. Pennsylvania dog handler John Preston and his dog Bear failed a recent independent test to determine the trainer's credibility and the reliability of his canines, according to a dog handling expert who asked not to be identified. Thanks, Lee D. I can tell this show isn't as interesting to you guys as other ones. It's one of those slow nights again. I gotta put like Morphew or something bigger in the title. Thank you. Word of the test results are expected to travel from Brevard to Florida Supreme Court, where attorneys recently appealed the 1983 conviction of Juan Ramos, who was sentenced to die. It was the evidence provided by Preston and another German Shepherd, harassed too, that led to Ramos's conviction, according to Brevard County defender. So the dog tracking in this case was
Tumbler
a big
glass.
tumbler glass. Thank you. I think I do need some Gatorade. Huh? Are you talking about this case, Super Soda? I can't. Your comment doesn't seem related. Anyways, the dog in this case, the handler, had problems. And it turns out he wasn't very accurate. And they used his testimony as the main testimony to convict him. And then let's see, hold on. Ruling may result in appeals. The Florida Supreme Court ordered granting a new trial for death row inmate Juan E. Ramos because of a dog handler's questionable evidence may lead to more appeals of similar convictions, but they won't necessarily be successful, attorneys involved in the case said. So it's sort of similar to a shit, I can't remember. Hold on a second. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of what Tim Miller was saying. Remember how he isn't a big fan of dogs at all, really. So a lot of times there's probably cases out there where they get a dog handler and look at it alerted, and it's not really, but it just sort of conveniently matches what the law enforcement wanted. And this is the husband right here. Mark Cobb says he was getting his life together when Satan came at him again. It has been 4 years since Cobb has come home to his wife of less than a year and found her lying on the kitchen floor with an 11-inch butcher knife in her chest. She had been raped, beaten, and stabbed 17 times. See, this is a perfect case where they should be doing DNA testing. Yeah, I guess they're really religious. It's just for Ramos. He wants the guy to be executed, and he was found guilty. All right, but then I'm not gonna read all that. I can tell it's not that interesting for you guys. So anyways, there was a retrial, continues on slaying anniversary. On Thursday, the 5th anniversary of MarySueCobb's murder in Coco, jurors in the retrial of Juan Ramos heard testimony that he was at home with his wife during the time Cobb was killed. They also heard testimony by forensic scientists that neither fingerprint, palm prints, nor head and pubic hair samples found at the murder scene could be identified as similar to those belonging to Ramos. Ramos is charged. Let's see. Juan Ramos heard testimony that he was at the... Okay. Ramos is charged with first-degree murder in the connection with the death of Cobb, who was stabbed 17 times. Ramos' 1983 conviction and death sentence in the rape and slaying of Cobb was overturned in August. Let's see. Mrs. Ramos testified that her husband returned home at 7:10 a.m. and showed her a letter he had picked up at Armaflight telling him he had been laid off. He then got back in bed and the two slept until 2 p.m. Danette Ramos said she drove her husband to Armaflight between 3 and 3:30 so he could attend a scheduled meeting concerning the layoffs and pick up his paycheck. But testimony of other witnesses for the state and the defense disagreed with her account. Defense witness Barry Keller and supervisor at Armaflight Thursday testified he saw Ramos in person about 10:30 a.m. A neighbor of Ramos, Doris Estes, Wednesday testified she saw Ramos shirtless running down North Wilson Street toward the Estes home about 8:15 a.m. the day of her murder. That kind of makes sense. MarySueCobb's last known contact with anyone was 7:40 a.m. phone call she received at home from her husband. The trial resumes at 9 a.m. Yeah, so the thing is he was acquitted the next time around. See? So it's crazy. So this guy very well could have done it, but there might not ever be an answer in this case now. A Titusville jury on Friday cleared Juan Ramos of murder charges stemming from 1982. The 8-woman, 4-man jury took 3.5 hours to reach a verdict, less than half the time it took. But they probably said that, his, the pubic hair and other stuff didn't match Ramos. See? But some of the other stuff, was really damning. But how do you get past that? Because I think it said right here, right? It said they also heard testimony by forensic scientists that neither fingerprints, palm prints, nor head and pubic hair samples found at the murder scene could be identified as similar to those belonging to Ramos. See, that would be a hard hurdle for me to get over. I don't know about you guys, but like if I didn't have anything at all like that, I mean, there's some circumstantial evidence. I mean, I would like to know how did they also though reconcile the comments that he made in jail? Did they disprove the jailhouse snitch? Did they, the other witnesses that said that he thought she was really pretty all the time? I'm sure the husband was looked at, and the hair probably doesn't match that. What they should have done was done a swab of some sort. Huh? What does plea bargain have to do with it? Yeah, you guys always get the bad feelings about... You're always bad feelings. It's always the husband. You know how often you guys are right in these things? Like, almost none. Okay? That when you guys say that. Alright? You don't think that they were able to prove that he drove there? Now, I guess it's possible that he drove home, after he got dropped, before he left, he killed her, and then he set up a fake phone call. He had a rabbit tied to the telephone, and then it jumped in the air when it heard it ring. Just always, every single time. It's just classic. I'm sure they would have looked into the hell out of that, don't you think? They've had years to look into that. Oh yeah, getting a bad vibe about the... Oh boy. Hey, look at that. You type her name and my video shows up in Google right off the top, because nobody's talked about this case in 1,000 years. And there's almost like no stories about this one. I think police probably, I don't know. I don't know how they're feeling about it. But they probably feel like they got the right guy. He just got off and they're not really focused on it that much. What do you think? Oh yeah, getting a bad vibe. Oh boy. Sounds like the old Morphew case again. I don't have any vibe from the husband because we haven't seen anything that he said or anything. Now, if you met him in person and he was darting his eyes around, maybe you could say it just technically, but that wouldn't mean anything. Yeah, we don't have vibes for the husband since we don't know anything about anything. All we know is that he showed up back home after she was supposed to pick him up for lunch. Yeah. Alright. Hey, look at I got the chat on the screen. That's pretty sweet. Thanks, Stadio, Caspian Horses Raw. Hey, but anyways, those are the 4 cases that I was going to cover tonight. Not a ton of information on some of those, but those cases are just as important as all the other ones. I was most interested in the... which one was that? Yeah, I was interested in the Snowden one, and then also, I think it was Haney. That one seems like that one should be able to be solved. Rosemary Haney. Okay, the commissary there. Good. Now I'm still negative $2.01 because of what happened earlier when I got a stay in jail before. Yeah, I'm really vibing hard on the husband there. He's thanks, Lee D. Oh, there you go. Carolina T. Oh, but then what's up with that? So now I'm still negative. Because Kevin Brown reversed Carolina T. Isn't that sad? Man. Yeah, see, Lee D loves it when people... yeah. So we're $2.01 short now. Yeah, I'm sure they've tested the husband's DNA against those hairs.
Get out, Gray.
What they really need is have done a rape kit And whoever DNA is inside of her right there, if it's not her husband, is the killer. Why, you know, I can't really see why the husband would need to rape, you know, he raped his
Not
wife.
male.
Does that make sense to anybody? Hey, thank you. Super Soda. I think we're, okay, that put us 90 cents ahead, and then $10.19, bing, 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 bing. Okay, good. We're out. All right, thanks. Okay, but see, okay, here's why I would rule out the husband for this reason. Why was she, I thought it said even in one article, I can't remember exactly where, but that she was bound or something. But why was she raped and then stabbed in the neck with a knife? I mean, it's her freaking wife, you know, like he wouldn't need to do that. It would just have been a murder. Now, I'd be all with you guys if it was just a murder. Like if it was just a murder and there was nothing else about it, it wasn't sexually motivated, then I might think, oh wait, the husband might have done it. Thanks, Stadio Caspian Horses Rock. Jessica Schubach. Gene Fish.
Forgive me.
So mean. Or Sue Mean and Supa Soda. Jeez. Yeah, well, it's still pretty easy, I guess.
Now you should be up 99 cents.
I wonder why it doesn't go all the way to the top on the chat there. Thank you, Freakazoids! Yeah, what does that have to do with anything? Discerning light. I mean, they were supposed to even have lunch that day. According to who? Yes, I'm sure they have. It's just not very likely, discerning light. Everybody knows that that's happened. It's just very, very unlikely in this. And then he stabs her 17 times with an 11-inch knife. I don't know. I'm just saying. It seems like they would have easily been able to. Here's what I think. I think he, you know, the window is, you know, the possibility part of it is that he could have done it right before he went to work. But here's the thing: is didn't he get dropped off at work? So that means her car would have been back at home. So how'd that happen? He killed her and then ran to work somewhere? Or? See, there's a whole bunch of stuff like that. And then there might have even been somebody that saw him being dropped off by his wife. And then they saw him at work all, you know, up until she was supposed to pick him up, and then he was nervous that she didn't show up. So then he had somebody else try. Well, oh shit! Let's go look that up now. Now I need to. MarySueCobb, right? Oh yeah, what's it say? I can't super chat anywhere. If I type even one letter, it gets rejected. Yeah, you might have to sign back on again. Yeah, but I think he did. That's what I'm saying. But there's no vibes that you should be getting from anything that we've talked about. Okay? So just kind of think those things to yourself. We haven't heard a word from the guy. It was just a couple articles that barely even mentioned anything that he said. All right, let's see right here. Very reliable, cautious person. Cobb had taken her husband. Here it is. Cobb had taken her husband to work at Creative Shaping on Merritt Island that morning and then planned to pick him up again for lunch. When she failed to show up at noon, he became alarmed and got her, this is exactly what I said a minute ago, alarmed and got a ride to their home where her body, where he found her body. So, that just totally clears him, it seems like. Like, how would he have, it would have got really complicated after that. Thanks, Sarah M. and Jen H. So they're probably a couple that had one vehicle, and then he drove.
Support
or he got
the
driven.
channel.
He got driven to work by his wife at like 7:40 in the morning, and then, or even before that, because apparently the husband called her at home. That call is sort of interesting. Like, you already had to have a question at 7:40. So anyways, she's at home at 7:40, right? And gets a phone call. And then he's supposed to pick her up. Maybe that's what the call was about. To go have lunch. He probably called up and said, hey, you want to have lunch a little bit later? And she was supposed to come pick him up. But when she didn't show up for lunch, she had a coworker drive to the house. And there she is. Anything's possible, but it gets so old and boring to just jump right to the husband every time. Every case that we cover in here, there's a few of you that jump right to the husband. It's just, it's not always the husband. I know that there's a lot of times when there's a wife or a girlfriend that goes missing, it's like 80% of the time, it's the boyfriend or the husband or something like that. But it's not every single freaking time. Yeah. Yeah. So if you're going to make the angle from the husband's side, you'd say that she never drove him to work. He killed her, and then, like, at 6 in the morning, and then walked to work somehow. Said he got dropped off. Then he called there as sort of an alibi. Well, here's the problem is somebody would have had to answer the phone at the house, so forget it. Okay? Somebody would have to answer the phone at the house, and then he gets a ride home so that there's a witness to his discovery. Okay? But it also works absolutely perfectly without there being a conspiracy. It makes total sense in the world. They have one vehicle. She drove him to work. Then maybe he calls home to see if she wants to come and have lunch with them. And then she doesn't show up. And now he needs to go check on her because she's not answering the phone call. She does never like that at all. Everybody knows their spouses and girlfriends. And so he gets a ride home, and then he stumbles through the door. She's in the doorway of their bedroom with a knife sticking out of her neck. So I think police would have checked on his alibi right away, don't you think? Yeah. Well, it's hard to know for sure. You don't really know, Gene Fish, do you? Because we don't know what the situation was. The part that bugs me about the Juan one is that he didn't have, the hair and DNA doesn't seem. I don't know if they tested the DNA, but his hair and other stuff that they tested didn't match him, which is like, wow, there's no evidence at all that he was even in the house. So why was he telling people? Is that all made up too? See, that's another thing too. Is a lot of times jailhouse snitches. They'll tell them whatever. Like, this is how the conversation goes. Hey, has Ramos ever said to you anything about and then Mrs. Cobb being very pretty and that he was attracted to her? Yeah. He said that. Yeah. He'd often tell me that. But what's weird is he had the map built, right? Like, he had the map written out. Had those things on it. So there's some other things that you kind of think that he did have something to do with it. And then what about the neighbors that said they saw him running down the street without his shirt on during the time he said he was sleeping? See, there's interesting stuff there. It's not all just, and you know, the part that, then there was the dog, that's the key. The dog wasn't reliable, and that's kind of what convicted him the first time. But here's the thing, you know, that jury must have seen really compelling evidence that it wasn't him to find him not guilty in 3.5 hours. I mean, normally cases like that take hours and hours and hours and hours, and there's people going back and forth and, you know, arguing and shit. This one seemed like they almost all agreed and then spent 3.5 hours to make sure they didn't miss something. Oh, come on, Chrissy. Jesus. Signal someone. Yeah, so there's a phone call made to the home, and then somebody answered it, though, because you have to have an answered call. And they had to. They were part of something. Tripwire. Oh boy. Huh? Yeah, he could have called for that, but he was also supposed to, she was going to pick him up for lunch. So maybe that's what the call was about. Like, hey, do you want to, you know, come by and have lunch with me? You know, that's what some nice romantic husbands do every once in a while, right? I mean, that's, you know, and I guess she was really pretty and everything, and she, you know, I mean, he was probably, you know, didn't mind seeing her every once in a while. Man, you guys are so skeptical. It's amazing. It's just, this is one of those ones where I don't have the, I can see some of the crazy angles that you're coming up with, but I'm not seeing it at all. Sorry. I mean, it's worth talking about. I'm trying to make your theories work. Okay. And then everything that we're reading here kind of contradicts. She drove him. He's at work with no vehicle. So then you have to ask yourself, how did he get there? Wait, where did he work again? Because do work at Creative Shaping on Merit. Okay, let's do this. What case was that one? This is Cobb, right? Okay, and then on Merritt Island. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so it's not like ludicrously far, but wait, how come Merritt Island's in the middle of the water? Yeah, so maybe it's this thing here. Kind of could maybe be an island. Let's just see if that company's still there. Creative Shaping. I doubt it. No. So let's see, how far is that? Yeah, so it's over 7 miles. Almost 8 miles. What am I supposed to be looking at? Oh, you can't see the map. I already thought I was on. Oh yeah, let me go with my new set. There we go. Bing. Okay. Yeah, Merritt Island's out here, right there, and then that's the home. And if you go like this and like that, it's 7.5 miles from here down to on Merritt Island. Now, I don't know if it's on over here somewhere, where on Merritt Island this was. But the pin for Merritt Island's out in the water, so I don't really even know what the hell they're talking. Actually, this is Merritt Island right here. Look. So that might be a little shorter, I guess. Might not be far at all. It could even be right around in this area. Maybe 3 or 4 miles. Well, it doesn't matter. As soon as I see look at, I look at something. I just have to be able to look at the screen. I'm not looking at the screen all the time. See? That just proves right there. Yeah. So anyways, I gotta go get some other work done tonight. Gotta run a report, and then I've also got to finish up on episode 6, inserting the clips into for scene of the crime. That's a crazy one. A lot of interviews, and Paul Holes is even on that one. So if you guys like Paul Holes, you hear him talking quite a bit. You got sat down? Well, I've been on here since, I don't know, what time? I think I started at 7:30, didn't I? No, 7:50, and it's 10:30. Yeah, how many? Yeah, so we're on it. We have all the episodes are done being written. Really crazy case, though. Man, I mean, there's one part where they go to the hotel, and one of the people pulls over, and he says, "Hey, hold on, I got to throw out this rotting watermelon in the back of my trunk," and the guy that was in the car, was just really dodgy shit. Well, there's so much crazy stuff, so many people that could be suspects in that one. It's unreal. I mean, even like a stalker. It was literally stalking somebody, stalking. Hold on. Yeah, there it is. What do you mean I'm unreal? What are you talking about? Jesus. There's Zozo again. Just cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Oh, really? It means shitty. Doesn't mean that here. Unreal here means, oh, you're unreal. It's actually negative. You just sat down when she did? When who did? Oh. Let's see. So you got a guy that one of the victims, Rose, said, if I ever die, it's going to be this person. Okay, well, it turns out that, that's one of the people, and who knows if he was the one or not or anything. There's just so many angles. It was like all these people were cheating on everybody's wives. Everybody had a motive. They're at a hotel during a convention for mortuaries, a mortician's convention at the hotel at the exact same time. Are you kidding me? I mean, if it wasn't true, it would be the craziest story you've ever heard in your life. Yeah, so you guys definitely need to listen to it. There's a narrator who reads it all, and some people, like how it always is, they like the narrator or they don't like the narrator. She's actually got her own podcast. Now, for some reason, I can't remember which one it is. No, it's an actual podcast. And then I actually have cameos in there where I read the police reports. You know? Here, let me see if I can remember how one sounds. Here, I'll play it. You can hear it, just for the hell of it. One of them. Let's see. Samples of blood. Okay, how about this one right here? Atkinson received 7 deep lacerations of the left center of the rear portion of his head, each sufficient enough to fracture the skull. These vary between 10 centimeters and 3 centimeters in length. On the right hand, he had 5 lacerations with his little finger totally removed. Cuts were apparently made by a broad object with a sharp edge. A linear bruise measuring approximately 8 centimeters, 3.25 inches, was noted on his back. Another bruise was found on his left rear shoulder. The autopsy report postulates that these 2 linear brown marks have the appearance of a sharp object striking the body with bed clothing in between so that it leaves merely a linear bruise but no cutting. Atkinson received. That's what I do. These little readings of actual, what do you call it? Like police reports. You know, there's nobody, an actual witness or anything like that. But I do. I think I have 14 times that I read something on there, and then I actually extract all of the audio clips. And then I end up inserting them into the recorded audio, and then somebody reviews. Jess reviews those. Morph has probably one of the harder jobs because what he's doing is he's taking the recorded audio. Zozo apparently isn't interested in what we're talking about, but what Morph does is he takes the recorded audio and all the different takes and has to go find the takes that work. And then sometimes, you know, like people don't know how to pronounce a word, and then it really takes them 5 or 6 hours to get those together. Then he sends them to me, and then I insert the clips that I have extracted from these interviews that people have done, and Jess has determined what pieces of the interviews that are going to be put in there because she wrote the script. And so then I put those in, and then there's a final review and everything like that, and then boom. I think Zozo's got like ADD or something, or kind of a... Do you think it's autism of some sort? It's got to be something like that. Yeah, you should check it out. It's pretty good. I think you'd like it. Okay. Yeah, that's what I figured. Hey, I went on to Perplex channel, and she said that when I was on there, she told everybody, I think Gray's got Asperger's or something. And I was like, what are you talking about? And I thought, hey, maybe. I think what I need to do is have a plate spinning around and follow it. Yeah, have you listened to it, Kevin? I think people actually like it. Hey, it's Richard Watts. What's the wow for, Katie? Thank you, Fibers Sleuth. Metamucil, let's keep things flowing. That's right, you know what I'm saying? Metamucil.
Metamucil, let's keep things flowing, lol.
Oh, look at that. It said LOL because you put the periods in there. Good job, Fiber Sleuth. Way to trick Streamlabs. Yeah, where is Kubi anyways? That'll wake her up. This'll draw her in. Here we go. Where is she? Oh, class. You can hear it. I know you can, Kubi. You've got one ear set in, one ear plug in, one ear, and you can hear it, and your leg's starting to kick on the ground. I can tell. And your teacher's wondering what in the hell's going on. And then you said, no, you come here and listen to this. It's incredible. And now the whole class is doing it. It's on speaker. They're all going, oh yeah. You know it. So right now the entire class in unison is you know it. Yeah. Well, it's not on iTunes. It's Kevin MacLeod. You can go buy it. Oh, that's what I need to put on this one. This video. Where's the That was a different show. I'm just checking something.
This video contains subject matter that may be offensive and disturbing to some people. If you are the type.
Hey, what are you doing? There it is. Awesome. Really? See, I wouldn't say Rebecca and Zozo were similar at all. Yeah, I don't see that at all. Nah, I don't think so. I don't see it at all. Because I'm the one that reads all the comments, right? Yeah, I've been working on a rap. Oh, a false ending. Here, I just want to see if it works. I haven't tried this yet to the rap. About Cristola, right? See if it works. Her name is Cristola. She gets on a roller. More painful than a molar. Let's see. More painful than a molar. Is she a troller? Does she grind on your solar like a baby in a stroller? I think you gotta do it quicker. Her name is Cristola. She gets on a roller. More painful than a molar. Is she a troller? Does she grind on your solar like a baby in a stroller? There we go. There we go. All right. Woo! I don't know where she is. I'll do it again when she comes back. Yeah. You had to do it quicker, I think. Yep. Can you guys see the heart moving around? Oh, really? That's weird. I want to see what that looks like. I didn't know you could actually see it. It's weird because it's still got the bounding box on it. The hopping free cart. What happens if I go? Wow, that's a big heart. Huh, that's pretty cool. I didn't realize it would do that on the live. Hey, we were trying to wake you up, Kubi, with the song. Yep, there you go. It did. It worked. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum.
Hey, this is a really neat song. This is a really neat song. Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. That's incredible.
See, I don't. I was gonna say, see, I didn't. That was stupid. Anyways, I had sushi for dinner. Salmon and spicy salmon rolls. Good stuff. All right, anyways. Yeah, I'll leave the chat up for you guys for a while. So thank you to, oh, there's Firefly Shy at the end there. Boggle Queen, Lisa Wilkerson, Linda Howe, Barbara Smith, Lil Andy, Kit Kat, Crystal Ann, Chrissy, Lee D, Lil Andy, Kit Kat, Chrissy, Zozo, Tracy, Kim F. Sharp, Kevin Brown, Dadio Caspi Norses Rock, Tracy, Lee D, Lil Andy, Kit Kat, Christy B, Raina Marie.
Please sing again, Grey Cold Sweat Smile.
Mandy Scott, Death Row Executions, Fiber Slew, Michelle Nicholas, Cairo, Lady, Dadio Caspi Norses Rock, Chrissy, Carolina T, Kevin Brown, and Super Soda. Sue Me, as in Sue Mean. Gene Fish, Jessica Schubach, Dadio Caspi Norses Rock, Sarah N, Jen H, Fiber Sleuth, and Firefly Shy. Sing what? The rap? I'll try it one more time. Let me see. I gotta do it quick like that one though. I'm just gonna do it. I can do it. It's a short one. I haven't finished writing it though. Her name is Cristola, she gets on a roller, more painful than a molar. Is she a troller? Does she grind on your shoulder like a baby in a stroller? In slow motion is, her name is Cristola, she gets on a roller, more painful than a molar. Is she a troller? Does she grind on your shoulder like a baby in a stroller? There you go. You! All right. Good stuff. And back to the cool cats. Yeah, I like the slower one. The other one wasn't written, I don't think it was written for fast. Like that. See, I'm not too far below. Like I try to bring in every 10 days like $2,000 through everything, so that we're at 6 or so at the end of the month, and then then I get taxed on that, and then I try to do like $2,000 something. So like I said, about 40%. So right now we're like 300 short of that, but we kind of made up for some time the last few days. Today wasn't as good as the other days, but that's how we were able to do the 15,000. I think we're doing pretty good. We have I think we actually have 11 days, so there's that one extra day. So hopefully that works. Usually donation night's pretty good too, because it makes up for a few of the other days. They found that one girl that was hiking after 2 weeks, I guess. See, my thing is I think she planned to be missing for 2 weeks. I mean, she had all this food, apparently. It's like, I don't know. Just stuff seems... Those kind of things just seem weird to me. Like, you missing for 2 weeks, and oh my god, you just happen to be stocked full of food. Probably gained weight on it. So she almost died then? 2 weeks with no food at all? Mola, yeah. Yeah, there's those other cases like that. They just seem so unrealistic, But who knows, I wasn't there. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just not buying it. It's one of those stories that just seems...
Best rap ever, tooth.
I don't know what was going on there. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. Wonder if she encountered any cougars. What does that mean, chucking a Maddie? Oh, she is a cougar. Is that an Australian term or something? Chucking a Maddie? My god. Jesus. I know what chucking means, but it just doesn't even work. Why not just say, pulling a Madison. Throwing doesn't even make sense. Oh, really? Chucking is the exact opposite. I could see pulling a Madison Bell. That makes sense. What a ridiculous person she is for what she did. Where is it? I'm not sure where that video is.
HUZEE, can you play your Ice vid for the freaks who haven't seen it?
Wasn't that like, I don't even know where that one is. I don't think I have that one, do I? Was that the one at CrimeCon? J Case, and thank you, by the way. Yeah, I don't know if that was on, I think that might be on somebody else's website or something. On YouTube. Because I don't think I had a video of myself. I think somebody else did. Yeah. Oh, look at that. That was me in my hotel room. That's funny. Hey, look, I even gave Kevin MacLeod. Oh, you can't see it.
I don't even know if this shit's working. I can hear myself double in my head.
That mic, I like the sound of that mic.
If it does, I'm sorry. I can't fix it, though.
Yeah, that was in my hotel room. Yeah, I probably would drive to that one. I mean, it's still like 1,500 miles, but that's more doable than 3,000. You know? I don't know where that video is, Jay. Sorry about that. Yeah, I can't play his video on here. I don't really watch that channel that much. I think it's in Austin, something like that. Good night, Zozo. Although it's only 5 o'clock, 4:55 in the afternoon over there. See, the way you do it is it's 6 hours behind, but then 1 day ahead on the clock. Are you really have tears of sadness pouring out of your eyes? I'll see if I can find that one though, Jay, somewhere. Oh, okay. Okay, I did find it. Ah, shit. I kind of messed up on one part, but... Yeah, I think I found it here. Yeah. As at CrimeCon. Doom, 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 doom. Oh, I'm gonna get a hit and listen. Will it ever stop? Yo, I don't know. This guy gave me a drink too. I lost a couple pounds since then, but that was a couple years ago. I don't think it had very good audio though. Yeah, it's me, but I lost. I think I weighed about an extra 15 pounds or something in that one. I can see my belly sticking out. Bass kicked in and the Vegas are pumping. Quick to the point, cause the point no faking. That was pretty fun though. I was in New Orleans. I had to wait like 10 hours. I screwed up right there. I can do it better just live. This guy gave me a beer. He like cracked it open and I drank out of it. I was so thirsty. This guy goes, "Hey, do you want a beer?" Look at it. Yeah, I was like, my mouth was all dry. He gave me the first drink out of it too. I must have edited some out. I think that's it. I think the last part is just word to your mother. Oh yeah, the other music was playing. Dollar bills. Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty funny. I don't know. The audio isn't that great though. It's like you couldn't hear it. It was really loud in there though, but it wasn't very loud right then. Well, somebody gave me $20 to do Ice Ice Baby the first time, and it was so easy. It was. Then they didn't have to give me $20 anymore. Oh yeah? All right, Jay. Maybe the Texas one, huh? Sort of in the middle there. Yeah. Yeah, it sounded better there. You know, because it was loud with the music. I don't know. I don't think I used to be in high school and stuff. I wasn't an extrovert, but now I don't really have a. Not really nervous about it as much as I used to be. Yeah. It's hard to do karaoke over the phone together because there's a delay. Yeah, well, hopefully it happens next year. Is that when they're saying it is in October? That's pretty smart. Because I think if they scheduled it for June, they might be not. You know, we got to get the vaccine ready, you know. Yeah, better be over by then. This sucks. I know it's a lot worse for the doctors and the nurses, but, you know, it's like, God. I think people are just ready to just get out there, see what happens. It's like, Jesus. Protect the old people and everyone else, just do your thing. Get treated early, call it a day. Yeah, and none of them will get deathly ill or anything, Kubi. They'll probably be like, oh wow. See, that's the thing. It doesn't matter. I almost think it's okay that all kids get it. And what's funny is that's one of the comments Trump made was, wow, none of them are getting it. Nobody's getting it. And they go, oh, look, he's saying that nobody in the population's getting it. They're just so dishonest with what they say. Anyways, kids get it. It just barely affects them at all. And, of course, there'll be some that might actually die from it. But the same, the flu kills kids, too. And it's a lot of kids die from the flu. And I've heard, I don't know what Jay would say, but isn't it actually not as dangerous for kids to have COVID as the flu? I don't know what the stats are or anything like that. But if you're below the age of 35, people should just be allowed to do whatever. And then, or maybe even 40. And then you just protect the average age is 77 that are dying from COVID. That's pretty crazy, right? I mean, he probably can't answer that one. Yeah, isn't that crazy? So it's all political, the whole school thing. What's going to happen is if Biden wins, he's going to come out with this, okay, we need kids to go back to school, and here's how we're going to do it, and it'll just be some bullshit thing that could have been done anyways. But of course, when he says it, it means something. Oh, it's June? I thought it was later. Okay, that's what I thought. I thought they made it earlier, like June. That's why that October one didn't make sense. Okay, yeah, I wouldn't do a cruise. Are you kidding me? Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to end the stream, and then I'm going to go to, I'll let the chat go on for a while. All right. So, as I already thanked everybody, thank you very much. Wait, hold on. That's not,
Yeah,
I didn't want to do that
crime
yet.
thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen...
Yeah, see, what's crazy now is I used to set up the screen that you transition it to, right? So I'm used to hitting this button over here that picks a scene, but now it just immediately goes to that one. But anyways, thank you guys all for showing up tonight. Hope you thought some of those cases were interesting. It'd be kind of neat to talk to, maybe even, hell, get a hold of a detective down there and just say, hey, what, do you have any more information on this one? What do you think about this? A couple of those I want more information. So, all right, everybody. Thank you very much. And make sure that you're, in my opinion, people should wear masks when you're around other people. And you should maintain your, try to not just be huddled up next to everybody. Maintain your social distancing. And wash your hands, right? Yeah, well, what if we just get a less percentage of death? So if, let's say we get a lot more cases and we do start seeing an increase in the hospitals, but the percentage drops dramatically. See, look at that comment by Zozo. That just shows you that her brain, her fingers just start typing with literally no thought. Yeah, but see, you always get blamed for that kind of stuff. Crazy. Hey, get the Skippy and Dumbbell mug. Hey, thanks, Chrissy. Jesus. All right, everybody. Thank you all for showing up tonight. See you guys tomorrow. And let's see. As I always say, everybody, until next time, be safe out there.
True crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen
Thanks,
one
Ray
person
and Freaks.
that is a crime dissector, a certified lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and fool
like an old projector.
crime sector is my nectar.
Because the green is gonna be another election. Crime comes up from freak director. And I'm always gonna be a
protector, fool deflector,
interceptor. I don't mean a no respect of a director. All respect with all respect.
just remember I've a temple fucking check ya.
I have the agenda. I'm the pretender. I'm gonna take without the blender.
And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a
Thanks, Daddy.
reveal the
All that great now.
Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody? Talk to you.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Wow, what a crazy crowd tonight, huh?
Yeah, wow. That Zozo, man, she's a little nuts, huh?
Well, just a little bit. But hey, she's pretty cool too.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, good night, everyone.
Good night, Mary Lou.
Yeah, that's my name. Good night, John Boy.
Good night, Mary Lou.
Jeez. What a bunch of crazies. Yeah, you'd hope a first date. My God. And then Jay says CrimeCon will be great. Oh, I guess he's expecting some of the freaks to show up. Oh, man.
again? Jesus.
Oh, I've watched the new ones. They're pretty good. Yeah. Oh, yeah, and the best one is the one about. All right, everybody. I'm gonna stop the streaming, but I won't stop the stream. Okay.